A key component to the pricing feature in the PrebuiltML software is the product information database. Changes to this database can be made directly in the PrebuiltML software. But there's other times and circumstances when users will find it more effective to use alternate methods to change or update the product information database. The primary alternate method to use for editing the PID file is Microsoft Access. Microsoft Access allows you to open up the product information database and make changes in the various tables. Now, as we discuss these alternate methods, we should note a couple of things. First, there are certain protections and safeguards that are in the PrebuiltML software when making changes to the PID file that aren't available in Microsoft Access. So as users use Microsoft Access to make changes, they should be especially careful that they are making proper changes to the file. Secondly, we should note that while we may propose different ways that you can use Microsoft Access and Excel to make changes to the file, they are certainly not the limit to how you may use those two programs. If you are familiar with them, there are certainly many different ways that you can use Access and Excel to efficiently populate your product information database. As you open the PID file in Microsoft Access, you'll notice at the far left there are three different tables. There is the regions and tier table in the center, which allows you to manage or change the different regions or tiers that you might use in your situation. But the other two tables are the important ones to make use of within Microsoft Access: the product SKU table and the SKU pricing table. As you open the SKU pricing table, you'll see that there are columns for the various rows and entries that are made. Those columns are very similar to the columns that are shown over in the Product Information Database tab within PrebuiltML. One difference is the region column. In PrebuiltML, this is referred to as the tier or price tier, but in the Product Information Database file within Access, it's called region, but they serve the same purpose as the price tier over in PrebuiltML. If you open the product SKU table, again, it's very similar to what you would see over in PrebuiltML with the various columns. However, one significant difference comes to the product, family, and the attribute list columns. Over in PrebuiltML, those two columns are joined together into one to show for example, 2x10 SYP number 2, all in one spot. Whereas over here in the database, they're separated out into two different columns. As you make entries in Microsoft Access, you should be aware of a couple of things. First, changes are saved automatically as you work through the software. You don't need to use the Save button in order to save the changes that you make to the different rows and the different data and the different entries. Secondly, you should also note that, different from Excel, if you were to make a change in a specific field, such as this, we'll change the 2x10 to a 2x12. If we tab from that field, that change or that update hasn't fully taken place. The update takes place when you leave that specific row. So as we come along and we tab from that row, at that point, that's when the change will take place. Finally, one other tool to be aware of as you use Microsoft Access is over in the Database Tools tab here at the top. If you are consistently making a lot of deletions of records and copying and pasting as you work with your PID file, it may be useful to use the Compact and Repair Database button over at the left-hand side of the toolbar. This will clean up your database file and get rid of any extra or empty records that may have been created along the way. In the future videos, we'll review how you can make changes more effectively for the product SKU table and for the SKU pricing table.